game, set and match is what I had clearly suggested. It's been an absolute landslide in Bihar. The trust factor, bharosa hai. And in an election where women outvoted men and where there was an 8.8% rise in women vote alone, I believe that's the reason why I say Nitish Kumar was the man of the match for the women of Bihar. Even as the Muslims and Yadavs by and large seem to have still stayed with the Mahagathbandhan, the other communities drifted away, crucially Dalit groups.
Views expressed in this blog are hosted on my own website, are strictly personal and do not reflect the views of anyone.
Namaskar, hello and welcome friends to Straight Bat, my weekly video blog where, as the title suggests, I comment with a straight bat. Now I hate to begin Straight Bat by saying I told you so. मैंने आपको कहा था. 1 week ago on Straight Bat I had made it very clear. The NDA had a clear and possibly decisive edge in the Bihar elections. Game, set and match is what I had clearly suggested. Guess what? Forget about clear decisive edge. It's been an absolute landslide in Bihar. And a number of people are asking me, why did it happen? And I'm going to give you 5 quick, clear reasons. Listen to them very, very carefully. Number 1, high trust quotient for Nitish Kumar as Chief Minister and yes, Prime Minister Modi at the center. The Nemo double engine, Nitish and Modi double engine has proved to be a force multiplier, led to what I am calling a Sunimo, not a Sunamo, but a Sunimo. When you have two leaders, one who's been in power for 20 years in Bihar and has spent a considerable amount of time positioning himself as a Sushashan Babu, and then you have a Prime Minister who also positions himself, and positioning in politics is important, as someone building a Viksit Bharat, somewhere the two narratives converge. And in a state like Bihar, a state which has not seen much development over the years, the promise of development, the belief that kuch to kiya hai, whether it's roads or whether it's law and order, creates the impression that maybe we should go along with what we have. The trust factor, bharosa hai, credibility hai, vishwasniyata hai. And I think that helped the NDA, the JDU and the BJP to score this big victory. Number 2, Nitish Kumar's goodwill among women. You see, Nitish Kumar consistently since 2010 has now been part of 3 landslide victories: 2010, 2015 and 2025. Nitish Kumar provides that X factor by bringing in the Mahila vote. In all these elections, women have outvoted men in percentage terms. This time they outvoted men even in absolute terms. Almost 5 lakh more women voted. And we've seen consistently in these elections where women have voted more than men, Nitish Babu scores. And I maintained it's not just the 10,000 rupees that was important, the 10,000, which I call vote kharidi or a bribe just before elections, but also over 20 years, cycles, reservations in local bodies, prohibition, all of which enabled Nitish Kumar over the years to create the impression that he was a Mahila first leader. And in an election where women outvoted men and where there was an 8.8% rise in women vote alone, I believe that's the reason why I say Nitish Kumar was the man of the match for the women of Bihar. In some cases, certainly, they went even beyond caste identity. Number 3, BJP's organization and resources. No shortage of cash or indeed of workers on the ground. When backed with the wider social coalition crafted by the NDA, was too much for the opposition to handle. What do I mean by social coalition? Essentially an umbrella coalition of castes. The forward caste 10% with the BJP. Then you have the Kurmis and the non-Yadav OBCs, substantial 12%, 2% Kurmis, other non-Yadav OBCs like the Kushwas and Koiris, all consolidating around Nitish Kumar. And then you have the Mahadalits, which Jitin Ram Majhi brings, Then you have the Paswans, very important, that 5.5% vote that Chirag Paswan brings. Upendra Kushwaha, he also comes to the table. So you are able to create a wider caste coalition. When you compare the two, you will see very interestingly, the Mahagathbandhan has roughly scored the same percentage of votes it got last time, 37-38%. But the NDA has gone up from 37 to 48. Why? A wider caste coalition. You have to create in politics today, particularly in the Hindi heartland, an umbrella coalition with a strong holding social base. Just having M and Y, Muslim and Yadav, was never going to be enough for a Tejasvi Yadav. He needed to create the wide caste coalition. The fact is, the NDA did that. Takeaway number 4. The opposition campaign lacked a clear narrative and cohesion. At the end of the day, you need a clear, simple narrative. The BJP and the JDU was clear. If the opposition comes to power, Jungle Raj will return. We will provide Vikas, they will lead to lawlessness. On the other hand, the opposition was only responding in a way to the narrative set by the NDA. In 2020, Tejasvi had set the narrative by saying 10 lakh job, 10 lakh naukriyan denge. So that excited people. This time when he spoke of jobs, people were not as convinced because he was promising one job for every household in Bihar, which is frankly unworkable. And already the BJP had raised pensions, or the NDA had raised pensions for old people. They had provided 10,000 rupees to their Jivika Didis. So these were promises that had turned into reality versus Tejasvi promising something for the future, and the lack of cohesion. 12 friendly fights? What is a friendly fight? The fact is, there should have been a proper program after the Vote Adhikar Yatra of Rahul Gandhi, where he spoke of Sir and of vote chori, that should have brought the momentum into the elections. But for 6 weeks, the Congress disappeared. And they couldn't even agree on seat sharing till the very end, eventually resulting in these 12 friendly fights. You need cohesion between allies. It goes down to the voters. They can see that this alliance is not quite working. The chemistry was missing. So the arithmetic also was with the NDA. The chemistry also this time was with the NDA, which becomes a deadly combination. Finally, and this was a point I just raised, memories of Lalu's Jungle Raj still haunt Tejasvi. Jungle Raj, or the so-called rise of criminalization in politics in Bihar, took place in the 1990s. We are in 2025. And you could argue, why should an election in 2025 be fought on what happens in the 90s? But the memories are still there. And the BJP, by using the Prime Minister in particular, by using the imagery of Katta, seemed to suggest that, look, if the opponents come to power, that Jungle Raj will return. And what did this result in? A counter consolidation of the non-Yadav caste and other wider communities. So even as the Muslims and Yadavs by and large seem to have still stayed with the Mahagathbandhan, the other communities drifted away, crucially Dalit groups, or those who felt that this social justice revolution, the mandalization, had actually led to a Yadavization, were worried as to what would their place be in this wider network. By contrast, Nitish Kumar has consciously wooed not just women, but the EBCs, the extremely backward caste, who are 26% of the population. And along with the women and the forward caste that the BJP brings to the table, you are able to create a much wider coalition. And yes, remind that coalition that if we lose power, Jungle Raj will return. Finally, let me tell you this. For 2 or 3 days, I was listening to the exit polls. And most of these exit polls I maintain should exit. Because while they may have caught the trend of the NDA ahead, I don't think any of them predicted a landslide of the kind that we've seen. It's not easy always to catch landslides. Sometimes they take place silently. And I believe this was a silent Sunimo. And that's really why maybe the pollsters got it right, got it wrong. Who got it right? Well, some of us on straight bat. Kabhi reporters ko bhi trust kariye. I've been saying from day one, the NDA is ahead in this election. For once, I've been proven right. By the way, I want to tell you all that a new paperback edition of my book 2024, The Election That Surprised India, with updated stuff on what's happened over the last 18 months, questions over democracy, election commission, the Modi Shah election machine, Rahul Gandhi and the opposition is all there. So I hope you'll read that too, and hopefully will be with me when the next round of elections takes place next year. ये जनता है, ये public है, ये सब जानती है. I salute at the end the people of Bihar. They've chosen what they have. You can agree, disagree with them, but it is the mandate of the people. Thanks for watching. Stay well, stay safe. Jai Hind. Namaskar.